I'm filming this as the season 3 finale of The Flash is about to air. And for some reason, I just haven't felt it in me to do the season 2 video for Legends of Tomorrow. I've just been working a lot, I'm tired. But here it is, Legends of Tomorrow season 2. From what I remember, I really enjoyed this. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. The plot was pretty good, and the characters, once again, did not disappoint. I enjoy every single character on this show. Where do I begin? So, the plot of Season 2 is basically the Reverse Flash following the events of The Flash Season 1 when he's erased from the timeline because Eddie kills himself. He's basically stuck in like a paradox because his ancestor killed himself. And so now he's not an actual being of time. He's more just a being because he's a member of the Speed Force, I guess, if you want to call it that. Long story short, he will be erased from existence if he doesn't find something and collect something called the Spear of Destiny. Now, I guess the distinction between changing history and changing reality is very important in this show for Season 2 because anybody can change history on the show. Anybody can do that. But in order to change reality, changing history has effects. Changing reality means that reality has its own history, if that makes sense at all. I guess that's kind of the way the show puts it, but Eobard Thawne has to change reality in order for him to stay there because history says that he dies in 2000, whatever the season 1 of The Flash was, 2014 or 15, whatever it was. I'm going to keep this very brief as I can, because I have a tendency to go on and on with these reviews. The characters in this show in Season 2 are really good. I do miss Captain Cold, but that's not a big deal because he does make an appearance. And by the way, this is kind of hard to do without spoilers, so I'm going to just do spoilers in general. But I will talk about some of the season-ending spoilers. That's just a forewarning now. So anyway, like I was saying, the characters in the show in the second season are pretty good. None of them stand out as much as Heatwave, especially in the second half. I didn't do a review of the first half for Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. I don't know why I didn't. There's things I could have talked about, like Rip being... we didn't see Rip until from episode 2 to 8 because he was disappeared. He was missing the whole time. And then in the second half of the season, he was one of the main villains because of the Legion of Doom. They're mind controlling him, and they hardwired his brain into thinking that his friends are now enemies. But yeah, so anyway, so Heatwave was a big standout. He had a lot of moments in Season 2, especially in the back half of the season, that I'm like, wow. This is huge character development because they tried to make him a hero, but then consequently, life, if you want to call it that, or destiny, kept pushing him back to being a villain or just a thief. And that was one of the major key moments in the very end of the season. Yeah, long story short, just Dominic Purcell, I'm not going to call it weird, but his way of playing that character and then his performance in that character in the second half of the second season, it was amazing. I think people will agree with me when I say that Heatwave was he was good this season. He was way better than the first season. He was the standout character for me. Like Firestorm didn't do much. He was kind of just the same thing. Sarah was the new leader, and that's cool and all, but just Heatwave nailed it. Heatwave killed it. That's all I can say about it. And I also mentioned that Rip was a villain for the second half of the season. The whole point of the first half of Season 2 was waiting to see where Rip is because he's a key player. In fact, he is the key player for this show. He's the one who gets everybody together in Season 1. He's the leader of the team, and I'm not saying that I don't like Sarah as being the leader, but you have to have Rip. Without Rip, there's no Legends. You know what I mean? And so it was a nice, not plot twist, but it was a good way to throw him in as a villain. But obviously, I prefer him to be a hero. So finally, when he comes back as a hero, inevitably, it's a really cool moment. And by the way, I think, I'm being serious when I say this. Go back and watch all seasons of any CW TV shows. Arrow season 1 through 5, Flash, all of them. CW sure loves to give Rip and only Rip slow motion cape flap scenes. Like some Zack Snyder Man of Steel shit, okay? Oliver Queen doesn't get it. Barry doesn't get it. No other character gets slow motion like Rip Hunter does. And that's Yeah, that's cool. That's what it is. Speaking of suits, this season you have to have the suits. You have to. There needs to be more suit play. There needs to be like more of the costumes that we want to see. There was like, I want to say there's only like 3 or 4 episodes, at least in the second half of the season that I can remember, where everybody was in full costume. Now, there's only one exception that I could think of. I'm sorry, maybe 2 exceptions. The lesser exception being Adam, because that's kind of that's a hard suit to put on, and so it would kind of make sense. A lot of it would have to be CGI, but the one that I really get would be Firestorm, because it's expensive to do his fire effects, and he only has the suit when he's in Firestorm mode. So I can understand that. But the rest of them, just give them the suits. Put the suits on. I don't think it's that annoying. And that's kind of what makes these shows cool, is that you get to look at these really cool looking suits. Now, I mentioned I was going to keep it brief, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to cut it there, okay? Overall, this was it was a really fun season. This is of all the CW shows, this one was really fun, even more so than The Flash, which I'll be reviewing soon because tonight's the season finale. Really fun show, really not in-depth plot, and it's nothing original, but it's a really good plot, and season 2 was executed very well. Like I said, I like Dominic Purcell's performance as Heatwave. I like it's Arthur, I can't remember his name, the guy who plays Rip. I'm gonna look that up right now. Arthur Darvill. I like Arthur Darvill as Rip, and I think without him, the show is kind of not the same show. And so I'm gonna stop there for now. I'm gonna keep going after I give the rating. I think the 16 episode season schedule that they have is actually a lot better for the shows that I think it beats Arrow and The Flash, because there's no filler episodes. Each episode gets better and better and better. There's no downtime. I think Arrow and The Flash should have taken the 16 episode mantle, but that's fine. It's whatever. Those are different shows. I'm gonna give season 2 an 8.5 out of 10. I don't know that I enjoyed it as much as season 1, but then again, that's it's like sequels with movies. Sequels are hard to do by nature. Even though Arrow season 2 is a lot better than season 1. Okay, now I guess we can call these spoilers if you want to call them spoilers. I mean, basically everything I've been talking about is kind of a spoiler. Let's start with this one. These are basically things that I'm going to be talking about in like the last 2 episodes. That's what I mean when I say spoilers, because it's kind of, if you haven't seen the entirety of the season, then you're not going to want to know what happens in the next season, because who knows what's changed. So that's what I mean by spoilers for TV shows. Vixen's dead. Amaya. Amaya's her name. Yeah, the Amaya version, the one on Legends, and not the one on the cartoon TV show or the one that's been on Arrow. That's Amari, I believe. Yeah, so the Amaya version's dead. She died, which makes me curious about the other Vixen character, but not really, because I don't watch the cartoon show. Vixen's dead, so that's not a big deal to me. She wasn't a standout character to me. She was just she had a cool outfit, and she was very good looking. She was pleasant to look at, so that's kind of all her death meant to me, was that I have one less good looking thing to look at. The big thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is where I was kind of hinting at with the times that I mentioned it, Rip leaving the team. Apparently, he is leaving the show. I'm not sure if he's gonna still be a series regular or season regular for season 3. I know that Sarah's going to be the new captain, even though, because that's not new, because she's been the captain this whole time for season 2. But I hope he's a season or series regular still, and he's not just going to be a special guest for season 3, because I think Rip is he's a key element. I don't think that they should get rid of him. I think he is what makes the team. I don't know, just something about his character. Maybe I have a man crush on Arthur Darvill, but I don't think that he should leave the team. I think he should stay on there. I think he's what makes the show as good as it's been so far. And then the last thing that I have no clue about, this is up for interpretation, and I'm not even going to bother to interpret it, because that's kind of like, where is this going? They get back to 2017 after Reverse Flash is erased from existence, because the Black Flash, spoiler, I guess if you want to call it that, like I said, Black Flash finally caught him. He's a time wraith, so he got him and erased him from existence. There's ways for him to come back, by the way, but that's a whole nother video. 2017, they go back, and there's dinosaurs in 2017. I have no idea what that means. I genuinely, I don't know if that's from a comic book that I didn't read, but I doubt it. I don't know how to interpret that. That's just up for season 3 interpretation. I guess it's basically the same. It's going to be the same style plot. Overall, both seasons have been about changing something about time. Season 1 was about changing Rip's family's thing and all the mistakes that they made. Season 2 was originally about time apparitions, but then it turned into just chasing Gabar Thawne and his legion throughout time. Season 3, I guess, would have to be finding a way to change what's happened overall. I don't know. I guess humans have been erased. I'm not sure. That's a whole nother video for interpretation. I don't know nothing about that stuff. That's all I got for you. I can't wait to do the Arrow and the Flash reviews. Those are going to be fun. I have a lot of stuff to talk about for the second half of the season. If you haven't seen them already, I did episodes 1 through 9. So basically, I'm going to skip over the first 9 episodes, the first half of both of those shows. And I'm going to consider that you've seen this already. And I'm going to put that in my title as well, like episodes 10 through 23 or whatever. That's all I got for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.